Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new season, I want to call it, of Off Scripts, hosted by myself, and I couldn't have asked for a better first guest to join me. It's um, it's not just one person. We're speaking of three WWO wrestlers right now. Of
All
course,
right here.
it's Manalo, it's Dangerous Dutch, and King LG. But for tonight, you will know him as David. David, how are you doing?
Doing all right. Doing all right. How about yourself, Marvin?
I'm doing absolutely fine. Now, as I said, you're three people in WWO, so we have
Mm-hmm.
a lot to go on about. I actually have a nice little fact for you that I'm not sure if you're aware of. There is one person in WWO who has faced all three of your characters. Do you know who that is?
Uh, I'm not. I actually don't know who.
Well, he faced two of your characters in tag team matches, and
Mhm.
one of them in a singles match back when you were world champ, and that was KB3. KB3 is the only person who,
Yeah.
yeah, he's faced you, as random violence against Cuba's finest, against Dangerously Crazy, and one on one when you were world champ for the world title. Hello, Monica. Welcome. So,
Yo.
let's just start off by the character you played first,
Mhm.
King LG. And I'm gonna start off easy for you. What is one of your favorite moments that you've had as a member of the organization?
Mm. Are we basing this off of just WWO?
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite moments in the organization? Probably when we all were champions at one point. Another cool one was uh the build up for, or actually, what was it really? I did love. I know the stuff with Shane as well. The stuff with Shane as well was really cool. I liked being the number one heel, number one, pretty much the head of the company. Uh, but now it is Jeremy at the moment. Um, yeah, I think just that world title reign of the LG, ending it off with the double champs, because I was both international champion and the world heavyweight champion when I lost the world heavyweight champion. It's a little redundant there, but yeah, I think just that reign in general was a really good reign.
Cool. Was LG the longest reigning world champion? I
I
think
think
so.
so.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
Um,
did when did Jeremy get his again? When did his start?
um,
Was it Wrestle Clash?
I want to say Summer Bash,
Yeah, that makes more sense, huh? Yeah.
but I'm not entirely sure. We should probably track those things, but we haven't. Especially early on, things were kind of a mess with keeping track of things. We're doing better
Most
with it
definitely.
now. We're doing better with it
Oh
now,
yeah.
but there are some things lost in record. Summer Bash Jeremy won it from Shane. Thank you, Monica. Thank you.
There we go.
Um, that would make Jeremy 2 months. 2 months. I watch all
Okay.
the shows you
There
guys
you go.
do. We know we're very thankful for having someone who tunes in for every single show.
Amazing.
It's about to be two a week with off scripts and the regular shows going forward. So hopefully you'll enjoy everything. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
um, very glad you brought up the world champion. I'm very glad Monica did too, because my second question is actually about the world title. Um,
Hmm.
Because I'm not sure if you remember, but when we started WWO, we had a bit of a lineage from a former company going over.
Hmm.
And at that point, there was a WWO champion in Duke of Potatoeville, he was called.
Hmm.
Sadly, no longer with us. He's always welcome to come back. But hey,
I would honestly, I would love a Duke comeback.
Absolutely.
That would be beautiful.
Great promo, great dude. And one of the very few Europeans I've got to meet doing this.
Oh yeah.
Um, so yeah. What I wanted to ask is, you are the first, and it kind of sounds a bit silly to call it a first, but you were the first person to start your reign as world champion in WWO, being the guy who took the belt off Duke when Scully
hmm
betrayed him. Um, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, hey, Plan G always prevails, I guess. And I mean, I just it was a really good way to kind of write him off because he was at that point he was starting to become less active, and we needed that switch. I mean, the promo for that, I think I did. I think that was a really good promo where it kind of leads up to what eventually happened. It was actually a tag team match against Mr. G and Shane Black versus myself and the Duke of Potatoeville. And like you said, great guy, great promo. Fortunately, was starting to get less active, and so someone needed to take that spot as world heavyweight champion. And I'm just grateful that I was there at the right place, the right time, and longest reigning, and the youngest WWO champion to date.
I don't think a lot of people are gonna beat you by age on that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
You've been doing this for a very long time.
yeah. Yes, I have.
Doing e-feds and promos like way before
Yes, I have.
WWO. Despite being the youngest we have in the company, you are probably one of the most experienced too, which is
hmm
kind of insane. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, Monica's asking how old you were when you won the title, and how old are you now?
Yeah. Honestly, I might have been because we started WWO in 2023, correct?
Yeah, we're in the middle of season 3.
I turned 18 this year, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I had won it in like January or like it was before April. That's where my birthday is. So I might have been 16 when I won the WWO World Heavyweight Champion. Um,
And
and now
before,
I'm 18.
yeah, but before WWO, how old when you started with e-feds
When I
and
started,
promos? Yeah,
I was around 12. I was 12
yeah.
years old.
I want to say
I was a,
I've seen footage. I would guess 12. Yeah,
yeah, I was 12 years old.
6 years in the running and only
Mhm.
18. That's kind of insane. To answer Monica's question, yes, that is the getup for both Dutch and Manolo from Cuba's Finest.
There we go.
Very
This is
true.
actually
Very
okay.
true.
I would be lying if this was Manolo's mask. I cut this part from Manolo's mask to show off the jawline, and so this is actually Antonio Alvarez's mask, but it's gonna be a substitute for my own mask because I wasn't able to find it. But this was
Cool.
actually Antonio. If you notice in the promos, you'll notice that the line right here is actually cut. So there we go.
Wonderful. I mean, we're talking about Manolo. I had questions for Dangerous Dutch first, but um, nah, go home for King OG.
Let's
Um,
let's do it.
because this
Whatever.
is way before I ever did this and before I met you. How did you become king?
How did I become king?
Yeah.
Okay. So it was in the previous company or association, if you will, that killed trends. Let's just say that me and my father had got into it. We were tag team champions at one point. We drifted into solo competition, and we were still friendly with each other. We were still technically the G's, the Crazy Latinos, if you will, another tag team name that we had. and one of the champions, we had both won champions at the same time. Uh, I had won the what was known as the X Streamer Champion, and he had won the Fighting Honor Champion. Meaning he as in my dad. And I guess you could kind of base when I won the X Streamer Champion, I wanted to be the king of wrestling. King of Extreme was one of the names I had. And that way it kind of drifted into solo, so I can just do my own thing and he can just do his own thing. But like back to where we were, we had both won champions at the same time, and at the show after that we had won the champions, we came out to the ring for a celebration, and we were celebrating, and I had a whole thing. I had a whole setup in the ring. There was a poster of me and my dad as X Streamer champion and Fighting Honor champion, and I had given him a gift, and the gift was a briefcase, and what was in said briefcase was a contract to disband the Crazy Latinos or the G's or whatever other name you want. Border hoppers, Scully would probably say. But yeah, whatever the names you want. I had brought that contract out, and he was like, "No, but we're a team." And I was like, "Not anymore." I hit him. What did I hit him with? I hit him with a super kick. And this was when I was maybe 14, so it wasn't the best super kick. It wasn't. And then after I did the super kick, hit him with the camel clutch. He had the red bandana. So before, we didn't really have 3 different Mr. G's like we do now. So he would always just be OG. So he had the red bandana. I did the camel clutch with the bandana. Like I said, I was still young. Wasn't the best looking wrestling moves, but nonetheless, hit him with both those moves. I grabbed his hand with the pen, made him sign it as he was unconscious, and I left the ring. So that was definitely the start and the pivot to just this young kid with his dad. We kind of were going for like a DX type of team, a comedy, but also like kick your ass type of team. And that kind of pivoted from that character to the King character. So yeah.
Cool.
Eventually I did have another set of bodyguards called the Royal Kingsmen, I think. And they were just originally the whole thing was me in this bandana folded in a way where it covers my whole face with just a black shirt, and it eventually turned into my dad with the same outfit, and the whole thing, I had a whole like I made like a mock wiki, if you will, and it was hinting that they were actually the Menendez brothers. So, some fun fact for you.
Cool. So Phoenix and I beat the Menendez brothers back then. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
A good question from Monica. Do you want to become a real pro wrestler?
I'm definitely, it's definitely been a thought in my mind. As of right now, if training were free, hell yeah, I would do that. If training were free and I was guaranteed a job, a good paying job, then yeah, for sure. But right now, it just seems unrealistic. Obviously, I have these connections here just from WWO, and I'm sure I could get something like that. But right now, it just seems a little out of reach. As of recently, I'm trying to become. My current goal, I'm actually trying to be a firefighter. So I'm going to school, getting my EMT certificate. I'm taking EMT 109, and then later on October 24th, I'm going to be taking EMT 101, which is just CPR, doing CPR and whatnot. And I need I need 2 other classes I'm going to be taking next semester in order to get an EMT certificate. and that's you need an EMT certificate to get into the fire academy and whatnot. That's one of the qualifications. So yeah, as of right now, my goal is to become a firefighter at some point. Um, but yeah, wrestling. If I'm guaranteed a job, then fuck it, man. I'll be down. I'll take a bump.
Yeah. Welcome, Selena. Um, just a very nice story to share. It's yeah, gonna
I
read
saw
that
a
in gonna read
question.
that in a bit. Yeah. Um, that's really why I love doing off scripts the way we're gonna do it right now, because on screen, and I do mean this in the most disrespectful way for you on screen, you are an absolute prick. But then when you talk to David, he's the guy that wants to basically, firefighter, save people. Totally different guy.
Yeah.
So, Selena, I have a question. How did LG become Dutch? Wasn't there a Dutch in TKWA? That is
Yes.
that is one of the questions we're going to tackle in a bit. Yeah. So I'm gonna park that for a little bit because I can't answer some of those things for what happened behind the scenes, but I do want to know David's thoughts on that too because I never got them back then.
Mhm.
But first I want to focus on Manolo.
Yes.
So obviously you and your dad putting on the mask,
Mhm.
becoming new identities.
Mhm.
Um, who came up with the concept?
Me. I did. Uh, oh, how did I come up with the concept? All I know is that we were losing. We didn't have as much tag talent as we do now. Um, and I had told Scully that we needed a couple tag team, or no, I was told by Scully that we needed a couple tag teams, or at least one or two or whatever. Um, so I was looking at masks, Rey Mysterio masks. I was like, yeah, we could probably do something like that. Little gimmick. We wanted to be jobber teams. We weren't even trying to be. At least I wasn't really trying to be like someone going for gold like that. I was honestly trying to be a jobber to make some other guys look cool. And I don't know if at the time I had recently watched Scarface, or I was just, or maybe I had watched it back or something. But the whole idea for Cuba's Finest is based off of Scarface.
Okay.
Um, and you can kind of you with the storytelling we're gonna be doing uh soon enough, and what we've already kind of laid in the groundwork for, you're gonna see that because it kind of started off as Cuba's Finest being the underdogs, being from uh, being the ones to root for, I guess. And now they saw that they needed something to boost them up. They were kind of in a funk lately, and they needed to get back to the top.
Still
And
former
now
tech
you see
champs.
them. Yes, still
Huh,
former tag champs,
huh.
but two-time champs, I believe. Um,
Were
and
you?
yes, because you want to know why? The Reapers had we had one against the Reapers, and then they had one against us. And then you, as Anonymous, made it so we went up against them again, and we had
Yeah,
won the
that was the
we had won
second
the
time.
champions again.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Hmm. So, like I was saying, that was it. The whole thing for Cuba's Finest is based off of Scarface. If you look at the names, Manolo is the clean shaven, good looking guy. His name from Scarface. Antonio, obviously Antonio Montana, and Manolo's last name is Montana. Manolo Montana. Antonio Alvarez. I just searched up. Hispanic last names, and Alvarez popped up. So there's there you go.
You did not search far, did you? It was probably in
No.
alphabetical order, and we're like, yeah, Alvarez works. We'll stick with
Yep.
the A.
Exactly. A and
I
MM.
I can tell you a little secret. I kind of did the same thing when I created Allison Cassidy
Oh
for an
yeah.
AI character. It was like I just want the announcer to at least be able to pronounce the name, so I'm just gonna go through the list of names that the game can announce. Uh,
Yeah.
A Allison, sure. We're not gonna go with another A. That's boring. Just press the bumper to scroll down a bit. Let's see.
Mhm.
Cassidy, sure. Allison Cassidy. There we go.
There we go. Allison Cassidy.
Not much thought went into that.
Um, that's. I mean, hey, it works. It's a catchy name, Allison Cassidy. You
Yeah.
know, see that somewhere.
Yeah. Um, Second question that I had for the Manolo character is what do the names mean? Manolo and Antonio, but you've already answered that, so we're being
Yeah. So
very,
pretty
very
much,
efficient.
yeah. Perfect.
Cool, cool. Uh, I guess we can move on to Dangerous Dutch. Maybe we'll get back to Manolo a little bit if we talk about
Mm.
Caribbean Connection, but we'll see how much
Okay.
time we have. Do you guys make up bios or stories for the AI talent you create? Not really.
I did for the Stevens, and it's just been in my head, and I've never really told anyone.
Ooh, all right. If we have
Um.
extra time, we're gonna revisit that. But there's a bit too much to talk about you right now, so
Okay.
maybe in
Perfect.
a bit, maybe in a bit.
Sick.
But yeah, as far as AI talent goes, for some of the women, it's a little bit different because your women's roster is extremely thin.
Hmm.
It's like Alison Cassidy was supposed to be King LG for Scoop Potter. Jeez. Alison Cassidy was supposed to be just a jobber, and we needed more women, especially with women of wrestling becoming a thing to boost the women's side of things. Um, just figured, well, I literally copied my character's movesets onto her because the reason I really made her was to do the My Rise bits in the game to unlock stuff for the female side of things.
Hmm.
So I just copied my own character's moveset and was done with that. Then I figured it can be a Jabba character. Then I figured since she has the exact same moves as me, I just say I'll train her. That's it.
There we go.
That's again not a lot of thought went into that. It was just very simple
Yeah.
stuff. Um, but to go back to Dutch and your question about Dutch,
Hmm.
um, we had Dutch gaming dude who indeed jumped over from TKWA to WWO, as a lot of people had,
Yep.
and Dutch wasn't really around, and I don't know why. Like we're from the same country. I know he struggled with English from time to time, and I did try to reach out to him because I can literally help him translate anything.
Did you did
But
you ever talk to him in Dutch?
I got a promo against him with a few Dutch sentences, which he
Uh,
didn't like.
uh, what'd you
um,
say?
uh, I don't even remember. It was something very simple. At at first, he didn't believe that I was Dutch.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Why?
I have no idea. But yeah, I don't know. Things just kind of got ghosted. He didn't really respond anymore.
Mhm.
But with shouldn't say dangerous Dutch. With Dutch Gaming Dude, we had a few things with Rich and the table spots and the betraying of Team WWO in the Warzone match. There were a few things that we needed to follow up on that, and we didn't have Dutch Gaming Dude to do those. So, which actually brings me to my first question about the character,
I
because
I completely forgot that Dutch was a pivotal part of the WWO's Warzone. Oh my gosh.
wow,
Okay, continue,
you
continue.
you could say a pivotal part. You could also say I don't know the thing that screwed everything up.
Yeah,
I guess
that's
it's very
cool.
pivotal too. But
That's pretty
yeah.
pivotal.
Um. Scully mentioned, especially because you were still young and Dutch was always kind of skinny. He was
Mhm.
like, maybe LG can play Dutch gaming, dude.
You know what? I know. I have a thing about that. I was doing a I think a commentary with Scully as LG, and I think I was either setting up the green screen or maybe it wasn't even commentary. Maybe it was like a promo or something. Nonetheless, I was recording with Scully, and I had a red beanie on at some point, setting up the green screen, and from behind he was like, "Oh my gosh, hey, tell you what, you send me something that you could do as Dutch, because from just with the beanie, yeah, you look like Dutch, and like without seeing your face, you look like Dutch, and Dutch already had like a bandana, so I
Yeah,
was like, yeah, I mean, no problem. I probably won't use the red one, but I got the no, really, that's true, Monica. It's it's so true, because then after
it's
that,
a
the rest is
hell.
history.
Save us.
I I forgot what the first promo I did with Dangerous Dutch, who I was up against,
Probably
but
Rich.
yeah, mostly, yeah, probably. Um, but I had that it didn't sound like Dutch at all. Let's get that clear. It didn't sound like Dutch at all. Um, and yeah, I mean, it just worked so well. It it just fell right into place, and then eventually me and my dad, we teamed up again, because actually my dad is friends with Dutch. I mean, he's in a couple groups with him, a couple gaming groups with him on Facebook, and he's actually like he's talked to Dutch outside of like TKWA and like WWO, and I mean, yeah, so it's like goes crazy. But yeah, that's how Dutch was made, from at least from my end. I've actually gone up against Dutch a couple of times in TKWA. My dad's gone up against Dutch a couple of times. You have gone up against Dutch a couple of times. And I always just, because back then it was promo v promo. So if we were
Yeah,
going up against Dutch, respectfully, it was always a
you were
guaranteed
probably
win.
going
At
to win.
least,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, unless you were going up against another. You see, this, I don't know why, but for some reason, people, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. People love to film like this, and to me, that never appealed. It never appealed to me. It just looks better filmed like this, and believe it or not, I film all of my recent stuff on my phone, and I used to even edit on my phone. So back then, I was like, "Oh my god, like this is easy wins right here," because and just doing this all on my phone. And so to me, especially when it was promo v promo, I didn't. There was like no excuse, and I was like 12. So I mean, if I could edit on my phone and still manage it to like come out as a decent promo, I mean, come on, I feel like anybody could do this.
You've you've probably just pissed off a whole lot of people. Just
Respectfully,
just just
and
just by
I
saying
mean
it's
that in
easy.
the most. I meant that I mean that in the
uh,
most respectful way. Obviously, there's a lot more factors to it, such as coming up with the promo itself, coming up with the premise. But I'm saying making a promo look aesthetically pleasing isn't as hard as you think. Um, I mean, especially we got iPhones that have 4K quality. We have iPhones that allow you that we have phones that, I mean, they didn't come out recently, that allow you to do landscape like this instead of portrait. I'm just saying, it's
yeah,
obviously there's some
I'm messing
things.
with you, man. I do agree.
Yeah, no, but there is some things that do make sense for it to go like this.
Yeah.
Maybe if it's supposed to look like it was recorded on a phone, or if Like Johnny did one recently where he was like this and he was on a yacht. It made sense because he wasn't supposed to be in the production of WWO. He's supposed to be far away from WWO. But I digress. I forgot what we were talking about. I think we're talking about Dutch. Yeah, there you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
Uh, you were specifically talking about promos against Dutch.
There you
Um,
go. Yeah. So
yeah.
it was always usually it wasn't really a toss up when you were going up against Dutch, respectfully.
So, you kind of mentioned the conversation you had when Scully approached you to become Dutch.
Hmm.
Uh, what were your initial thoughts when he asked?
I was like, I don't know if I could do a Dutch impression, and I didn't. I never did, because
Uh,
honestly, the voice I do is it just works. It really does. But that was the first thought. I was like, I don't know if I could talk like Dutch, or how that's gonna work out. I ended up putting on the gray tank top along with the beanie and the bandana. Loved it. It was good. I liked it, and you
yeah.
guys did too. So
Yeah. Speaking of Dutch, we still have this Europe one-off show in the making that is supposed to be
mm,
the original United Kingdom Championship tournament. We're
yes,
gonna finish it at some point. Um, I did teach you a few Dutch words
you did.
for that promo, and I'm really curious to see if you can pull it off. That's gonna
I
be
will
fun.
try.
That's gonna be fun.
I will try.
So, at this point, do you consider Dangerous Dutch as like your own character, or does it still feel like something you've borrowed from someone else?
I see Dutch as now like my own character. I think honestly, because although it was heavily influenced and like I wasn't the originator, um, I do think I definitely brought something to the character that and I'm like I have my hand behind his head like it's my son or something, but uh
Uh,
I genuinely do think that I elevated the character based off of um
Working with Dutch.
yeah, based off of working with Dutch and just bringing my own thing uh to the character. So I mean, yeah, I think at this point it is kind of like I cherish it. It's cool. I like it. And I don't think I'm borrowing anymore at this point.
Well, Selena has mentioned a few things, and I'm gonna dive into them. She mentioned King LG for Scuba Potter. Um, funny story for you, David, that I haven't brought to you. Um,
Yes.
Scully was teasing with the idea of having you portray Cooper Potter if, if we could dress you up like that.
Oh.
I vetoed that for you. Don't worry, that's not happening.
Woo! I no, look, I would love Cooper Potter to have promos, honestly. And I had this thought on my own, and I believe I shared this with you and the fellows, that if we could get an old man to play, like, if you know what,
Basically,
Jeremy.
a call to all viewers. If you have a grandpa who doesn't have a lot of weight and is a bit bored, send him to us. We have a character for him to play.
Yeah, I have an idea that I'm gonna run with you after we're done. I just thought of someone who, like, we've seen already play who could play Cooper Potter. But
Oh boy.
yeah, that is crazy that that I was that I was suggested to play Cooper Potter. Oh
Nah,
my
I
gosh.
thought Scully have too much when you played, but in all honesty, just
Yeah.
uh, I have a love-hate relationship with Cooper as a character. Uh, yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Me versus Cooper Potter. I mean, I'm down. I'm down with it.
Now another comment from Selena. She thought that at one point you and Jocelyn were an item, at least on screen,
Mm.
a sort of power couple. I'm not sure if Scully ever mention that to you, but there were definitely thoughts of making the two of you like our version
Mhm.
of Dominic Mysterio and Rhea
Dominic
Ripley.
and Rhea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um,
you're not half off. We were kind of
mhm.
teasing that, but we decided to go with something else.
Yes. Like you said, it was kind of teased. I didn't really want to do that only because Dominic, at least before, he was such a weak character, and I really wanted King LG to not have that cliche. Like I really wanted LG to honestly have um, just more, honestly. And same with Jaslyn. At least I think Jaslyn has like we definitely I wanted for both of us to have stronger characters than just you know what I mean, cliche romantic interests. And also I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I just wanted us to have more like depth than that. I don't like that idea too much. And yeah.
I definitely think it was the right decision, and especially if we look at how Jocelyn has grown since
Mhm.
when we had that idea and to where she is right now. Definitely the right decision to not go with that, but it was definitely on our mind as something interesting to do. Now, Selena had another question saying, out of all your characters, which one is your favorite? Selena loves Dutch
Mm.
for the way he's funny and the way he sounds. Monica loves LG for the way he's arrogant and always wants to get to the top of the ladder.
They all have their good moments. They all have their good moments for sure. Um, Only because I haven't really done much with Manolo. I think he's out of the question. So it's mostly between King LG and Dutch. And like I said, they both have their really like good moments. And they also have their not so great moments. I really mm, Dutch promos are always fun to do. But the King LG promos, they're it's just so rewarding watching like how like each time you're supposed to get better each time, and that's how I base it off of. And if I don't, then it's like ugh, maybe that's not gonna work. But it's so rewarding seeing a good LG promo or segment. Um, but also Dutch is like just a fresh character. He's new. He's something new that I've been doing, and he's going over really well with the crowd. It's just I don't even think I can have an answer for that. I like them all.
All right. I got to say, I was thinking of asking the question myself, but I decided to scrap it because I figured, King on G, it's you, it's who you've always been.
Mhm.
So I'm actually quite surprised by that answer. But
Yeah, I mean
yeah, okay,
it's
that's
a
good.
hard
That's
it's a hard
good.
one.
Um, Monica with question: would you do a match where LG would battle all his characters in a match, and would you do promos for each one? So basically, a triple threat: King LG versus Dangerous Dutch versus Manolo Montana.
Hmm. Um. How about this? What if triple threat for sure? In the promo, instead of three separate promos, what if I just do one where I'm in all of them? One where I'm as King LG. Maybe
Green
he's
screen together.
yeah.
Yeah.
What if as King LG he's more like looking over these two because I mean they're fresh characters. They're very new. They're like children. He's aged. He's like a fine wine. Some these are like some mead right here. This is some like honey mead right here that was made like 2 weeks ago. And this is a 40-year-old aged wine here. And I mean, he's looking down on them. Maybe he's more like in the corner, judgmental or snooty and whatnot as they're arguing or something. Um, but yeah, I think instead of a promo or instead of three separate promos, I'd probably just make it so that they're all in one.
Yeah, that's cool. Welcome, Mate Monk. First time chatter. Always good to
Yo.
see. I just want to say, David, for an 18-year-old having these kind of alcoholic references, are you okay? Do you need help?
Yes, I'm fine. I
Uh, yeah,
just find little niches online and I get interested and I go on the rabbit hole and I just,
yeah, that's cool. Again, welcome, Monk. It's good to have you here. Um, yeah, I always thought LG was older. He is cute. You have a fan. You have a fan,
Thank
David.
you, Selena. Thank you, Selena.
You have a fan. That's great.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Monica.
Uh, so I guess you kind of already answered this, but I'm gonna ask it anyway, because we went about the characters specifically.
Hmm.
But yeah, Manolo, part of Cuba's Finest, Dangerous Dutch, part of Dangerously Crazy. Which one of those tag teams have you enjoyed doing more so far?
Dangerously crazy.
Okay.
Um, Obviously, Cuba's Finest it's a cool concept. I love it. Love what we're doing now, where we're more kind of a heelish tag team together. Because it's always been me against my. So if you guys don't know, you probably already do. Antonio's my dad, Mr. G. Um, and it's a thing where it's always been us against each other, and if we're not against each other, we're both good guys. Um, which is cool. But I do like what we're doing with Cuba's Finest and the Caribbean Connection, um, and that we're changing it up to that we're both heels instead of just both of us being faces or both of us being um,
Against each other.
against each other.
Yeah.
Correct, but that is still cooking up. That's still cooking up to be something greater. Dangerously Crazy, I love because they're so fun to film. Like the promos are so fun to film. OG and Dangerous Dutch together, just funny as hell. Chemistry. They always, if you notice, since Dangerous Dutch has been introduced, OG, Mr. G, and Dutch have always kind of intermingled within their promos. And that's kind of what started the Dangerously Crazy. And the reason why he always intermingled is because my dad knew Dutch. I mean, he knew Dutch before TKWA, before WWO, and that's kind of why they kind of were intermingling within the promos and stuff. One of my favorite promos that I filmed with my dad was Mr. G becoming an alcoholic and going off the rails after losing the North American champion. Um, and that was just a really fun promo. Scully gave me the concept of a training video similar to that. I forgot who it was. I believe it was an ECW, but that was the baseline, and I think we killed it with how we did it. And then Mr. G got his revenge as the special guest referee. So I mean, he's trying to get back up there, man. He's not even going for the North American champion anymore. He's going for the world heavyweight champion at this point. But yeah, like I said, Dangerously Crazy, definitely the. I have more fun filming those ones, so I'm gonna say that Dangerously Crazy.
Yeah, sounds fair. And like you said, there's a lot of good stuff in the works with Caribbean Connection and Cuba's
Mm-hmm.
Finest. So
Yes.
including the Syndicate. So uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
if if I'll ever have a match against Manolo, I'm gonna be added to the list with KB3 of people who faced all three versions of your character.
Yep. Yep. Very true.
Um, so yeah, that's something. Well, technically, I've only faced Dutch Gaming Dude and not Dangerous Dutch, or at least not Dangerous Dutch when you portrayed him. So
Yeah, very true. Very true.
But that could happen very soon as well. So
It could. It most definitely could.
tag team division is getting interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so with all three characters that you've done, you've had quite a lot of title runs. World champion, international champion, a tag title run as Dangerously Crazy, which is going on right now, and
Yep.
two tag title runs with Cuba's Finest. Which of those
Yes.
title runs has been your favorite?
Oh, world heavyweight champion. International champion was a little underwhelming. Kind of ended short. But so I would have to say the world heavyweight champion because that's when WWO really started to go like running, and I mean we're here today, so yeah, and
Yeah,
still
you were at the
longest reigning
forefront of
champion.
that. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting questions with that too. I have two questions from Monica. Who is LG's favorite WWO talent and WWE talent? And second question is, knowing that you have Scully, Shane, Jeremy, a bit of Jocelyn who have been in wrestling, does it help you with promos?
Okay. So favorite WWO talent would have to be
I want to say,
yeah, go for it.
just to mess with this question a bit. Monica asked, "Who is LG's favorite wrestler in WWO?" So, who is not David's LG's favorite wrestler in WWO?
Okay. LG's favorite
Okay,
LG's favorite
LG and then
wrestler.
David. Okay.
Okay. LG's favorite WWO talent is got to be, I guess, himself. I mean, if we're doing LG, it's himself for sure. And
And
LG's favorite WWE talent has to be someone stupid, like maybe like Vince McMahon or something. I don't know. Like, no. I think
you were super stupid.
no. Probably Seth's a good one. Seth's a good option right now. Possibly trying to think who else is at the top in WWE right now. Yeah, Seth Rollins. And also that's the same answer for David as well. But for as far as talent or WWO talent for David, Jeremy's always good. That's a good answer for me. Another one would probably be Mr. G. Mr. G's, even though I might be a little biased, Mr. G, I feel like he's a good answer as well. I mean, he does his thing.
Very well. So,
And then, wait, the second question is does knowing these people help with my promos? I guess. I know Shane when he did his interview. I think it was a Scully. Okay, sorry. I just got distracted with the question I saw in the chat. But with Shane's interview and with Scully, he definitely gave me some insight on some things by like just me watching it. I definitely have more of an insight on how to do a better promo. And literally right after watching it, it made me so much more motivated and determined to start doing promos again, because doing this for a long time with the same character, it starts to...
It can be difficult, I can imagine.
It could be difficult.
Yeah.
It could be difficult. And it is difficult sometimes. Coming up with new ideas. Coming up with new ways to spice up the character. Coming up with new things to say. Coming up with just new concepts for promos. It could get difficult. So watching Shane's interview with Scully, of especially that segment with promos specifically, I mean, I always literally, I think when you another interview that I saw that I made a connection with was you and Scully's interview when he was talking about promos, and he was talking about you gotta go in the mirror, you gotta believe what you're saying, you gotta go in the mirror and you gotta talk, and that's literally for most of my promos. I come up with by myself in the mirror, or me just even just watching WWO. I pick up on things, and I just start talking out loud, like if I have an audience with me, and I might look crazy, but it makes my promos, I think, that much better. If I hadn't done that, then I don't think it would have been as good. So definitely, just making your character believable to yourself. Like definitely practice in the mirror. Practice in the mirror, literally. Look into the mirror. If you're a heel, just do what you got to do to, you know what I mean, get your point across. If you're a face, you got to make these people believe that your intentions are truly good. And sometimes a heel is going to make it so that it kind of shows that their intentions aren't as perfect, or aren't as good like as they seem. So you really got to make sure that you believe your character yourself. Honestly, you got to really, when you look into the mirror and you're talking like your character, you got to believe it.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, having them around definitely helps with bouncing ideas, but I've also been doing this longer than I've known them. So I mean, so it's definitely
Experience
helps.
plays a big
Yeah,
role. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
And I can definitely confirm that finding you in your character is very important for that as well. Um, I like to not to discredit any of the people you've mentioned, um, but Scully is very old school. That's not necessarily me. Jeremy has a very sophisticated way with words,
yes,
and that's definitely impressive. But that's also not something that everyone can just pick up because it doesn't fit
digest.
everyone.
Yeah,
I had a conversation about promos with someone recently. I'm not going to name him, but I said what you're trying to do is not going to work for you, and it's not that it's a bad idea, but it just doesn't fit you. And we're working on that. I'm very confident in what the person is going to do in the future.
mm-hmm.
But finding who you can be, because what you said, you need to be able to believe yourself, and I believe that that means a bit of what you do in your promos has to be yourself. Not entirely and not fully, but definitely elements of what you portray in your promo should come from kind of what you believe yourself in a
Yeah,
way. Um, and I had one joint promo for one of the war zones with Shane. Shane is a very busy man, so
mhm.
getting together with him is always tough.
Yeah,
But yeah, I spoke to him before we cut the promo and after for probably like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Very insightful. That dude has a great mind for wrestling and wrestling promos too. So having Shane around definitely helps. Would be great if he doesn't want to sound like I'm calling him out or something, but if he was around even more,
mhm.
for the rest, and he's very busy. We understand that, and no one's getting paid to do this, so
Yeah,
can't blame anyone for just doing that part. But yeah, that would be massive, and a lot of people could really learn from him. So I'm trying to get him on off scripts at some point. Not gonna be anytime
we're
soon,
good.
but yeah, if he's gonna be on there, that's gonna be one hell of a show for sure. Now on to Selena's next question. Have you ever been noticed in public?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I have not. I filmed in public, but when it's dark and no one's there, for instance, whenever you see a parking lot scene with me, Dangerously Crazy, He Was Finest, Mr. G, OG, you know, all of the above, it will be at the the bank parking structure. It's literally like not even a 5 minute drive, probably like a 3 4 minute drive. Really close. It's always going to be at night when no one's around, and only one who's going to catch me are the cameras. The ones that we have and the ones that are on the ceiling. So no one's ever really no one's ever recognized me in public as one of my characters. Um, I think a part of the question is, have I shown anyone that I do this? Is that
I mean, you
is
might
that a
as
part
well
of the
answer that.
question? Okay. Only people I've shown is family, very close, like close friends, and I've barely showed them like recently. Like I've been doing this as as like my guilty pleasure for like however long, maybe 6 years, and my girlfriend, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I I get them, man. Like my circle of wrestling friends is WWO and very few other
Mhm.
people. Very few other people
Yeah,
know. The rest are not going to be interested in this at all, so I'm not going to bother them with
yeah.
this.
Exactly, like acquaintances
Yeah.
that I see, like for
Yeah.
like especially I was at school for the longest time. Um, Acquaintances like that, like I mean, they're not really gonna care. And also, it's
Yeah.
like for the longest time, I was honestly uh, embarrassed, but now I embrace the characters and stuff because I was still in high school. You know, it was kind of like, oh, that's a very niche thing to be doing. So let me just do it on the side. Do it. No one's really gonna know. No one's gonna care. So very niche thing that we're
Yeah.
doing here. So for the longest time, no one really ever knew. Um, yeah, but now the people that I've mentioned, family always knew. Um, but the close friends, and they're not even into wrestling. They were just interested in what I was doing one day. I was like, oh, I'm just editing. And he's like, oh, what you editing? And I just showed them a whole like match that I was doing.
Okay. Cool.
And they just started asking questions from there, and I let them know. Um, and yeah, so that answers that question.
Now another topical question, considering the month we're in. If you were to dress up for Halloween as a WWO character,
Mm.
which one would you choose to be for a night?
Being one of my own would sound kind of boring, so I'm not gonna do that.
I want to say I think there are
Um,
two very good answers because they actually require somewhat of a full dress up.
mhm.
But I'm
uh,
curious what you're gonna say.
Maybe the Showman. The Showman has some cool ass little gadgets.
Yeah, okay,
Uh,
true.
mm, Abomination as his 2K attire. Because usually when he would do promos, he would just be in the mask and the t-shirt, but I would want like the collared shirt and the apron and stuff and a chainsaw and the mask. So, Abomination as the 2K attire. Already said the Showman. Last one would probably be um who's has a who has a like a cool. I think those are the two, honestly. Maybe Hellbilly.
Yeah.
What would you choose? You said you had already an answer for that.
Well, yeah, one of them is one that I played, but it did require full dress up, which was Anonymous with the full mask. The
Ah,
other one
gotcha.
would be Jeremy the Madman, as in the Madman character, with like the red mask, the red hood, and all that.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, that's like proper get up, go on the street,
Hmm.
no one can recognize you type shit.
Maybe Quattro.
Yeah,
Ooh, Quattro
yeah.
get up.
Quattro could be cool for sure.
Yeah.
Monica would go as Chimp Kicks. Go Ninja Go.
Chim kicks. Go Ninja Go. Go, Ninja, go, man.
Fun question for sure. Now,
Yeah.
when I was thinking of questions for you, I was thinking I should ask you what your favorite feud is. And then I figured I
Mm.
should probably ask you what your top three favorite feuds are because I think I can make a pretty good guess at your number one and two.
Okay.
So,
Um,
what would your top three favorite feuds be? And
top three.
I'm guessing number one would be your dad, Mr. G,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm guessing number two would be Shane Black.
Yeah, I would say so. Last one, last pick.
There was hesitation in that though. Okay, okay.
Yeah, because I was thinking number two as the Jeremy Jack McDaniels, honestly. That's what we're doing now. There's a lot more flavor into what we're doing. And also, it would have just be with myself.
Um, any of them really, whichever you played.
I'm gonna do top five then.
Okay.
So Mr. G and myself. I don't think I'm gonna put Shane and myself up there, even though, or maybe I will. Maybe at number five. But I think there's definitely some better ones. I mean, it definitely catalysted what we're going on with now, and but I definitely think some others deserve to be up there as well, and probably deserve it a bit more. Um, okay, so it would be me versus me and Mr. G. I'm gonna go me and Jack number two, honestly, and then number
Jack.
three, yeah, me and Jack McDaniels.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, no match, but the story's there.
I I understand, but it's a surprising answer.
I just think it's honestly what we're doing. It might even go, even though there's so much history with me and Mr. G, it might even top like me and Mr. G. Like honestly, I think we're doing that. We're gonna be doing that good with that.
You're surprising me a lot more with transfers tonight than I anticipated. That's for sure.
There we go. Uh, so number three would probably be Jeremy and Phoenix. Really good. Loved it. Loved it. Number four, I'll put myself in Shane. I think that's fair. And number five, let's see here actually. Um, Number five. That's a good one. Maybe. Hmm.
There are not a lot of feuds for Cuba's finest,
Not a lot for Cuba's finest.
and like a brief stint with the Reapers, but yeah, that was more about the title than any sort of feud, I think.
Maybe Rich versus Dutch.
Yeah, could be. Could be.
That's an answer, but I don't think that is the answer. Very fun though. Very fun thing we were doing, but maybe. Gully into anything, Mr. G, someone maybe, Mr. G against.
While you're thinking, I just want to mention that the Dutch Rich thing,
Hmm?
I did quite a bit of recording for that, especially early on, and I was really getting into the hang of things when it came to recording matches and segments and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Things did not always go as planned.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Especially some of the backstage brawls that they were
Mhm.
horrendous to record.
Oh yeah, I bet.
But yeah,
Um, Me versus Anonymous was pretty good too. One more. Shit.
shoot.
Oh my gosh.
Drop all the questions you
Shoot.
have. That's what we're here for.
Shoot it. Mm. I'm stunned, man.
Number
I
fifth
would
on the
say like
list is this
Mr.
question.
Yeah, for real. I would say like a Mr. G versus Hellbilly, but I don't think it was. I feel like there's definitely like a better answer though. That I like. In terms of like promos and storytelling, what was one of the? I think I'm just gonna have to give it to Anonymous and LG then, or Anonymous versus the organization, so that I don't just put myself back on there. Anonymous versus the organization was probably a good. It was. I'd say that was a pretty good storyline as well.
Definitely had some fun recording a couple of the joint promo things that we did back
Hmm.
then.
Yeah,
That's for
yeah,
sure.
most definitely.
Now, two questions from Selena. Did LG like being in the organization as the main guy? Now, again, if that's
Mm.
from the perspective as LG, I'm sure he would be absolutely delighted.
Most definitely.
But what about David?
Um, yeah, I mean, for sure. I loved it. I mean, uh, it gave me a chance to show what I got and what I could do as a heel like that. Um, sometimes I wish my sometimes I wish our team wouldn't act as cowardly as they did and to be more of a dominant heel group. But when it comes to me being the organization's guy, I mean, we did it. We did what we had to do, and we were killing for a minute. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that answers that question. And I see Selena. What was his favorite organization versus someone else match? We did. Did we? We not do a Warzone match? We did, right? We did. Yeah, I
Yeah,
say the
you
Warzone match
you you, you
is
only won two of them. 2-0. It says what you are, 2-0.
with the Warzone match.
Yeah.
I
Um,
won. I won the
that's
against the
that's
Jeremy one.
I gotta say that's organization to be fair because the first one you were in a singles match against your dad,
Yeah,
but it was
yeah. The first
organization.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
And the first one, it ended in a no contest. And you want to know why it ended in a no contest? Because back then we were still figuring stuff out. Okay. Uh, and Scully had made the mistake of accidentally changing the match mid match, or changing the scene on OBS mid match, and so it cut short. And
Oh
so
yeah,
that's where the
and you
me and
recorded
my
that
dad
bit.
going.
Yeah, you recorded the backstage
So
bit in
that
the
it
parking lot. That was amazing.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, and
Yeah.
that's where that came in. Otherwise, I believe I don't know who would have won that match. I forgot who was booked to win. Probably was me losing, huh?
I think if I remember correctly, it was going to be your dad winning to
Mm.
counterbalance organization winning the Warzone,
Mm.
if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But that has been 2 years
Um.
ago, so mind can be fuzzy.
Yeah. It could be wrong or it could be right, but I think he was definitely more leading to win. But yeah, that's what happened, and that's how that I got that footage where me and him were going backstage, and that's when I say that filming like this is acceptable, because it was supposed to be originally, actually there was going to be another person on the network, and it wasn't going to be Kyle, it was going to be someone else. I don't know if you remember that. I don't know who it was going to be.
Um, yeah,
Ghost
yeah,
Ghost Commander.
yes,
Ghost
that's the name.
Commander. There we go.
He never really showed up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And then it eventually being Kyle who did that. But the whole thing was that this new member. Well, the original idea was this new member of the network um, caught me and my dad backstage, and he caught me being a coward and running off. And I mean, yeah. That was the whole. That's where that came from. Where were we on? We were on the my favorite match against the organization versus another person, another team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
With
I
that
think
footage, wasn't it that eventually when I first did the anonymous character before I became a wrestler that I leaked the footage? I think that's where we went with, right?
yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was anonymous leaking that information. I don't know if you had actually. Yeah, it might have been too when you before you started actually doing in-ring stuff.
Yeah.
Project LG, liar, proof anti-organization.
That's
There
how
we
I call
go.
it on the YouTube channel, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
And then, oh yeah, I not only was it filmed like this, but it was also some aspects of like um, what's it called? Like security camera footage,
Yeah.
which I mean, shit, man, I was smart. That's some good shit, man.
You did a phenomenal job with that. For those who haven't seen it, go to our YouTube page. You're gonna have to scroll down quite a lot to actually find it, but you just mentioned the title. It's a very weird title. It says Project LG, LG Line, something
There you
like
go.
that.
I
Thank
put the
you,
link in the chat.
thank you.
Um, as
It's
Mr. G because I'm on his account.
so wonderfully done, amazing. It's one of the first bits you recorded, and
hmm
yeah, that was great. And we're gonna talk about you being a producer in just a bit. Uh, we're
Oh yeah, I just saw
we're
back.
doing
That
well
transition
on
was beautiful.
yeah. All that transition was beautiful for sure. Um, now there's one more question from Selena for the both of us. Our favorite Reaper moment.
Mm. Okay.
I know mine. I'm not sure if you want to have a
Do you?
think. Not even because it's per se the best out of them, but just the reaction and being there for the reaction when Scully showed the footage to Jeremy when they were stealing
hmm
the train
Ah,
with like the crash. The crash
and
was
where they're falling.
yeah, yeah. The falling bit was funny, and I started to laugh, and then I heard Jeremy laugh, and both of us just completely went in the meltdown. That was so hilarious. And
Oh my gosh.
I
Was that when?
I
What?
could see the
What?
cracks on Jeremy's face, by the way, when we played it again on the
Oh my
actual recording that
gosh.
went live, and you
hmm
could just see him trying to keep it in and not break again. That was so much fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mine. Probably when they stole the Millennium Falcon, or also the train one as well. The train one, because when they were falling, I mean, that's funny, bro.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
one of the two.
Unfortunately, the redeems aren't enabled on my end, so no booze. Sorry. Um, but yeah. Now, TMX had a couple of questions before we went live. One question he had is, why do you call yourself the king of professional wrestling? And I want to say, and that's probably because it's more of a backstage thing. Scully came up with that, so I broke it down in two parts. One we already did when we were talking about King LG, how you became king.
Mhm.
But I do want to know, what do you think of the nickname Scully gave you, the King of Professional Wrestling? Did it give you any sort of like bar that you needed to set, or was it never that deep of an issue?
Um, wasn't the no? I mean, I was just. I think it might have been after I had lost the WWO World Heavyweight Champion, where he started calling me that because originally I was just the king of WWO, and because I was the champion, I was the World Heavyweight Champion. I was on top. There was no stopping the king. The reign was crazy. Ran it with an iron fist. But I had no problem with it. I mean, yeah, I'm the king of professional wrestling. Maybe why do I call myself that? First, because Scully, he put the name, and because I am. Fuck it, you know.
Yeah. Second question from TMX is,
hmm
and you can answer that one in two parts again, as LG and as David.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on the locker room?
Ah. In terms of just like the talent we have, I'm
Yeah.
gonna answer as David first. I think it's pretty solid. Um, it needs to be. I think we need more. Honestly, we need more people. But with what we got, it's pretty solid. It's pretty quality for the most part. Um, I mean, there's some definitely some like what's the word, nitpicks that I can point out. But why would we? I mean, the talent's pretty solid, pretty good. So far. I mean, we're recently, even if usually before it would be like if I don't do a promo as one of these characters, there would be no promos except like maybe one or two. Now it's a pretty stacked show when it comes to promos. Uh,
Yeah.
it's a pretty stacked show as of recently, which is good. We need people to be turning these in on time, doing what we got to do. And I've been guilty of maybe not being the most on track when it comes to planning things for setting stuff in on time. But also, I mean, just send a message, you know, stuff like that. Simple communication. Uh, I'm no saint. I mean, I get it, but yeah, just communication. I mean, we have a pretty solid locker room, like I've been saying. Now, King LG would
If it helps, put on the ground.
look, spit on the ground. Yeah, for sure. Because we're segregated from from the rest of the locker room. Actually, we have our own locker room organization. So I do look down upon it as King LG. Because like I said, we have our own. You know, we have our own locker room to be looking after. It's not even looking down upon it. It's just I'm looking forward and they're below. You know what I mean? I'm looking straight and they're not even in my peripheral vision as King
Love it.
LG.
Love it.
But yeah. And what's straight ahead right now, from LG's standpoint, is you see Shane used to be up there. He's going down. Right now it's just Jeremy. Mr. G was more up in TKWA, got a bit down in WWO, but he's getting back up there. Another one would probably be, I guess, Jack, but he's not really part of the locker room. It's mostly like up against. It's mostly like okay. Recently, it's mostly been a WWO management civil war, and it's been like this since WWO Warzone. Okay, and that's my point of view. Right now, it's mostly like a management civil war, and I'm kind of a part of that management. So locker room stuff, that's below LG.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I gotta say, Monica, will there ever be a WWO type movie with all the talent? Um, I'm I'm trying to win a lottery. If we do, I'll see what I can make happen.
There you go.
Until then, probably not. Probably not. But yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff that we can do with WWO, but the main issue is time and resources. That's a big one. Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of planning, and that would go, I would say that it would be in the way of doing WWO stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So that would be a bit too ambitious. We could do it. I think we'd rather stay with what we're doing now, and
Yeah.
mixing them sadly is not gonna happen. until I can buy out everyone of their work and just have them sign full time to WWO and be their official employer. And I don't mean that from a character point of view. I mean that from legit paying people to just be like, hey man, we're gonna need you full time for shit. Um,
Yeah.
that's not
Would be
gonna
sick.
that's not gonna happen anytime soon. I can tell you. But yeah,
In terms of, so this kind of put a thing in my mind of if WWO were to do a real wrestling show. And that kind of ties into the question that was asked earlier if I was interested in doing just wrestling in general. If WWO did a real wrestling show, I tried my very best to get there. And that's the only exception that I would do like a free show.
yeah,
Because that's fucking cool. If we did that, that would be so damn cool. And I would try my best to make it out there.
yeah. If we were ever to mix WWO virtual with real life WWO, because that is a thing, not currently, but it
Yes.
used to be, and Scully wants it to be a thing
Mm-hmm.
again.
Yes, that is
Um,
true, Selena. Yeah, and
yeah,
Marvin's just saying that right now.
timing was wonderful, especially with those almost live chats. But yeah, if that ever were to happen, and we would have WWO virtual in real life, we should definitely have a match against each other. Neither of us are trained. Both of us are confident and cocky as hell. So yeah, we should do that. If we injure anyone, at least it's not going to be a real wrestler, right?
There you go.
Yeah, yeah,
But that would be so cool if we all had a real life um show, maybe just even for one night,
yeah.
where the King's there, Jeremy, Marvin, he comes to America somehow, fucking Shane,
Probably by a thing called the
Jasmine.
plane. I think that's somehow
Oh, I
yeah.
was thinking you would just like swim here or something.
That'd be good cardio.
It would get right in shape,
Uh,
perfect shape for before you come. But yeah, plane probably would do better.
Probably only marginally. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's would be fun. I would definitely come over for something like that for having a proper get together for something of a
Mhm.
show. Um, but yeah, that's also expensive,
Oh yeah.
and certain border things are happening around the states, and I'm not really
Hmm.
fond of foreigners. And
Yeah.
I don't have my
Very
skin
true.
color against me, but
Nope.
I'm not American.
Very true. Very
So
true. We are crazy times we're living in, folks.
perhaps I would need to wait a couple of years and see how our next election turns out in the States.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Or you know, hosting in Canada.
Canada would be cool, but I don't think I'd be
Uh,
able to go.
yeah. Go to Europe, you know,
Mm,
plenty of things to see.
a Europe
We
show would be cool.
yeah, we can all crash at Johnny's place. I don't need
There
to
we go.
I don't need to ask it. It's fine.
There you go. Perfect.
Don't tell him in advance. Let's keep it a surprise though.
Just show
That's
up, all of
yeah,
us,
yeah.
suitcase in hand, all that.
Absolutely, absolutely. I've stayed over at this place once.
Did he know about it?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, okay.
We had a mutual friend who was renewing their vows for their marriage.
Nice.
Flew over from the Netherlands to the UK, stayed there overnight. When I say I crashed at his place, I crashed in the very small apartment above the office that he works in. Uh,
Oh, I see.
but yeah, it worked. It was free,
Okay.
so free stuff is always good. WWO FanFest at a real show, yeah. Like
Mm.
if things go good enough here on Twitch, there could always be something of a TwitchCon or a PAX East, PAX West, stuff like that. That could be a thing in the future. Not with the size we are right now, but at some point.
That would be really fucking cool if they set up a ring at like TwitchCon or PAX or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
and we have like a mini card. That would be fire. That'd be so cool.
It wouldn't be too unheard of. Let's just keep it at that.
Yeah.
Um, quite honestly, having something of a WWO meet and greet type thing, I think would be the very first indication of making it big as
Mm-hmm.
as a platform, as a company, so to say.
Most definitely.
So yeah, um, since we're talking about all that type of stuff, a lot of backstage talk and planning and such, great way to move over to you as a producer because
Ah, yes.
a lot of people probably don't know you produce a lot of matches for WWO. You're
Mm-hmm.
you're basically in charge of everything that happens on Zone. Um,
Yes.
try to chime in with a few things like the cutscenes I sent you the other day, but the matches are all yours.
Mm-hmm.
Um, now, what made you decide to become a match producer in the first place?
What? I think Scully just needed extra help, and I was like, well, if I had the game, yeah, I'd be down, totally down. Or I think I was actually getting the game. I was getting it was still TKWA, and I was willing to help even the creator of TKWA. I was willing to help him um, uh, when I had gotten the game, and then things just went to shit. And I had still had the game. I was creating characters and whatnot, and that was my way of that was gonna be my way of helping because I didn't have really a source of recording stuff, which you know what I mean. I just didn't really have all the stuff needed to do so. And then when WWO hit, um, that's when I was kind of able. I got a computer, I got a PC. Um, we were still on 23 at the time for a little bit, and we they needed help, extra help with matches, meaning Scully, you, and whatnot. And I think he first put it on as okay. It's gonna be, and this is what would end up being WWO Zone. Okay, it's gonna be a WWOC show. So originally it was going to be a WWOC show, no promos, just one-off matches. I create the card. Eventually, and not so far after, I was just given cards, and it was like, okay, it's going to be called WWO Live, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Here's the arena. Use that. Music, all that stuff. And yeah, I mean that's just really what started me doing matches. Is you guys just needed extra help, and I was just willing to do so. And now I'm just, I mean, I've improved that greatly. Every time you see uh, a highlight reel cutscene or a really cool angle, sometimes it is just the game being awesome. For the rare occasion it is. But most of the time it's me having to pause the game, go to highlight reel, find the good angles real quick, and I'm still recording, by the way. This is stuff that I would have to edit and put the highlight reel over and stuff. I just find it easier to do it this way so that I don't forget. Pause the game, go to highlight reel, find a good angle, the moment that I want, get that angle, hide the little controls, the little, you know what I mean, the little like press
Yeah.
X to do this, hide that, press play, have it be recorded for the full time, press I'm on PlayStation, so press circle, get out of there, continue the match, and then I would edit it in I use CapCut actually on the computer nowadays. So anytime you see a match on Zone, it's made by CapCut, WWE 2K25, the highlight reel option, and my editing, me playing. So yeah, that's all those zone matches for the most part. I remember one match you had to do only because I didn't have a character unlocked, Chosen versus Johnny Jackpot. Um, and that's the only time I think from what I remember, that's the only time that someone else had to do a zone match. Every other time, it's usually just it's me
I'm
doing
I'm
not
not
only the
sure
cutscenes
about the
stuff.
first couple of shows because back then it was kind of a mess on who would do what. And I
Mhm.
think initially we started off with everyone doing bits for every show, and that was just a logistical nightmare because you were just busy
Ah,
constantly.
you know what? You're right. It was
Yeah.
originally it was me and Hellbilly who was actually helping. I don't know if you remember that, but it was actually
Yeah.
me and Hellbilly helping with the matches. Um, and it eventually Hellbilly wasn't able to do so at some point, and then I just took over, I think. But I honestly can't remember if Jeremy ever did one. The only time I can recall someone else doing it besides me and Hellbilly was you doing the Johnny Jackpot match, and I don't recall a time Scully did it either. It was I'm pretty sure like Zone was created, uh, literally because I was able to do other matches.
Yeah. Might be confusing with live and Slam and Stream where we were all supposed to chime in and that got thrown
Mhm,
around
yeah,
to make it a
yeah.
bit more manageable. Yeah.
Mhm.
I gotta say, I've as a head of production, um, I've been very strict on who I allow to do matches, and there have been a few people who said they want to help with doing matches, and especially when we had the team of the four that we have right now. Um, I just flat out tell people, all right, I want you to make this and this match. Take as long as you need. Depending on how that goes, I'll decide if you'll do matches for us or not. One of them said, "Oh, so you're gonna test me?" I said, "Hell yeah, I'm gonna test you. I have very high standards for this. I'm not just gonna let anyone do it." So, um, yeah, you've survived and you've thrived with the producing role. So definitely be proud of that.
Yes, most definitely.
Um, Selena had a question. How'd you guys feel about being WWE virtual guys meeting WWE real wrestlers? That's a bit of a tricky question because the only real wrestlers associated with WWO are the virtual wrestlers who do wrestle real life. So that would be Shane, KB3 to an extent, Jocelyn to an extent, and Magic. Also, kind of to an extent because he's not doing a lot for virtual. Um,
Well, technically, Jeremy and Scully as well.
yeah, they're not really active in the ring, but
Mhm.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, there's no real roster right now for the real WWO thing.
Mhm.
Um, if Scully is ever on the show, you should absolutely ask him what type of people he worked with because he will very proudly give you an entire list. A lot of people who are still active wrestling. Um, the the one name that really just pops to mind that he's mentioned a couple of times is Loki or Caval. Uh, Solid wrestler, great wrestler.
I think also for Scully, I think also Cole Cabana. No,
I'm not sure. I'm
I
not
could have
sure.
sworn he's worked with him, and also obviously it was another night. It was another night. Was it Jason Knight? All
Could
I know is
be.
that I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he was ECW TV champion, I believe. That's
Yeah,
all I remember.
yeah. So basically, it would be like just meeting regular wrestlers. So that's a bit tricky to answer. There's not a lot of association between WWO Virtual and WWO Real because Real hasn't been around for a while. Um,
Mhm.
I'm sure Scully would love to see that change. He has talked about changing that, and I know he's very busy with work, so I'm not even sure if he would want to do it right now.
Hmm.
But that's a question for Scully, not for me. And yeah, down the line, sure, if virtual and real life were to mix, that could be a lot of fun. And I think the way we're doing things right now with WWO Virtual, if Scully were to start a new, uh, shouldn't say new, to restart WWO in real life, there's a lot we can do with production and getting the product out there that a lot of indie companies right now don't do because they either don't have the know-how or don't consider it a strong enough tool to use. Um, so that could definitely give us a completely different flavor. And yeah, we would have to see, especially from a creative standpoint, how things would change. But again, that's all stuff for Scully. I can't really answer that because in the end, WWO is his. Um, it's his name, it's his stuff, it's his IP. So we're riding along.
There you go.
Um, so you guys sound like you all get together like a real wrestling business, yeah? And discuss matches, videos, and shows. So you have creative video production, etc. Who does what? Um, I can give you a quick rundown of how things came to be. Uh, we would have to go back to TKWA for a quick minute. Scully was on the creative team. I was in the creative chat. I don't want to say I was on the creative team because I was never consulted for anything, but I was just kind of there. And I, to this day, I don't really understand what I was doing there. But the owner kind of respected my opinion, even though he never used it because it was talent on the show. So anyway, the guy left. Scully and I got talking. We changed that company to WWO. I became his right hand man. Scully didn't have the game, didn't have anything to edit the matches, so the first couple of shows were done by me, which kind of made me the head of production, which I still am to this day, but I don't really have a lot to do as head of production. Um, yeah, we were spitballing a lot of ideas. We were both creative, and we could use someone to spitball ideas of. And one funny thing is that the creative team rarely agrees when we start a discussion, and it. I mean, we don't. We all have our ideas and our ways that we want to do things, and
Mm,
they never truly align, or at least often they don't really align. And
yeah.
then we just get talking. We hear each other out. We hear what the arguments are for a certain idea and against a certain idea, and eventually we come to a consensus. And yeah, that's what we're gonna roll with.
Yep.
And we kind of needed a tiebreaker for that, Scully and myself. So that's when we brought Jeremy in. Jeremy also became the head of talent relations because that's something he does in real life. So he could do translate that from what he does in the real wrestling shows to our virtual show.
Yep.
And eventually he started producing matches. We brought in a couple of other people who had the game who could do matches. Only one of them survived actually doing so, and that's the man on the right side of your screen. And yeah, eventually, because David was very involved in producing the shows, um, I I still really think it's funny because I went to Scully and I went to Jeremy both to kind of get their feel of things, and I was
Hmm.
like, I think we should add David to creative, and kind of similar to how we brought in Jeremy is I went to Scully with I think we should bring in Jeremy for creative, and that's the same with you.
Hmm.
And I had a couple of arguments in my head for why I think it's a good idea, and I never got around to using those arguments because the answer was yeah, I agree. So
Nice.
that's how both of you came into creative. Uh, Yeah, at the moment, I think you specifically, David, just
Mhm.
chime in with your ideas and you help with producing the matches. You don't
Yeah.
really have a specific role other than just
Mhm.
doing those things. Um, Scully is the owner. He has final say in everything.
Most definitely.
I'm the head of production, which is also kind of why I'm doing this podcast, because part of production is looking at the metrics of how things are doing, and the other podcast was not growing or doing well or retaining viewers.
Hmm.
And the people doing that didn't really want to change anything, so that's why I'm here right now. Um, so this is part of my job now as head of production, and Jeremy now takes over quite a bit of production when he does a lot of the show intros that you see. He helps with the music,
Oh
and
yeah.
in turn, I've done a lot of character coaching for a couple of people, especially some of the new people. So, um, my role is head of production. Jeremy's role is head of creative, and or I should say, head of talent. And
Mhm.
we kind of do each other's job half the time. So
There we go.
just mix and match because that's the way it works best. So that was a
Oh yeah.
very long-winded answer, but now you can know who does what. And yeah, it works wonders.
Oh, it
And
does. Especially as of recently, it's
yeah,
been doing good.
yeah. And I gotta say, with how much of a mess we make of some things, it's a miracle it works as well as it does, but it does. So yeah, can't complain.
There you go. Now,
Um, Now I do have a few more questions for you, not a whole lot. We're getting near the 2 hour mark, which is good. Um, how do you feel about being responsible for an entire show with
Woo.
WWO Zone?
It definitely uh when it comes to like talking to my friends about it, like the ones that I've told, I'm like, yeah, I'm running a whole damn show. I'm making these matches and shit. Other than that, it's like it's definitely not challenging per se, but it's definitely a bit time consuming. It could be for sometimes, and it also I just got to make sure that I get them. Otherwise, it's not just ruining stuff for me. It's ruining stuff for other people if I don't get it in on time. So it's there's that adds a bit of stress into it. Other than that, I always love making a good match. Making a good match with a good finish, good start, and maybe add a funny moment in there because 2K likes to fuck with you. Maybe add like a little flop that a character did. Beautiful. I love it. I love it so much. Editing I never found to be challenging with the matches. It's mostly just recording because sometimes, like I've said, 2K likes to fuck with you. It loves to fuck with you. Um, but yeah, I never found editing to be a hard aspect within making these matches. I always
Yeah,
found it to be the fun part, putting it together and seeing the final product. And most of the time, it's solid. It's pretty good.
you're one of those too, huh? The ones that don't mind editing.
Hmm. Yeah, it's nothing too crazy. I guess it depends what it is, but I mean, for the most part, it's nothing too crazy.
Well, yeah, as I've said before, I absolutely hate editing. Gotta agree, it's not hard. I just don't like doing it, but it's part of the process.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
Again, very funny. I'm head of production. I hate editing. I'm the only person who hates editing, and I'm head of production. It's yeah, that's something. Again, it's a miracle it works the way it works. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's not particularly hard, and recording is probably 70% of the work.
Hmm.
One thing that I find annoying is how you have to wait when it's rendering. Because you're in the flow, you're editing a match, you've just done that. You can go through it pretty quick if it's a simple match, and then you're just waiting before you can continue.
Hmm.
You don't really want to do anything else because you want to continue doing the other matches that you need to edit.
Yes.
That's man, I hate that so much. It's just the
No, for
waiting in
real.
between.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely. Yeah, that's the part that really sucks. Whenever mine finishes editing, it actually automatically plays what you were just editing.
Yeah.
Um, and so whenever I hear those crowd noises, it's ooh, it's good. It's good. I like it.
That's an interesting question. We're gonna add to that in a bit. But yeah, what were you saying about the editing?
I mean, yeah, like I said, whenever that part is annoying, but hearing that the noise of crowd like chanting because it plays automatically what you were editing when it's done rendering. Ooh, best feeling. Put it on the Google Drive, send it to Scully. Beautiful. And on to
Yeah.
the next thing.
Indeed, on to the next thing, which is another question from Selena. Firing questions. Absolutely wonderful. If David
Beautiful.
were hired as a real wrestler, and I'm putting him on the spot, and he
Uh
needed a manager, which one would he choose? Marvin Dallas, Scully, Jocelyn, Jeremy, or Mr. G?
huh. Okay. So there's different outcomes. It's a choose your own adventure book because there's definitely different outcomes for each answer.
Uh,
Scully and Jaslyn about the same. Marvin Dallas, uh, and which character would he be? I'd probably be LG without the king. For some of them, Marvin Dallas, he would probably be the one training me, like he is with Allison. Except I would be a man and not a woman. um, like I was saying, Scully and Jaslyn about the same. I'd probably be the king. Um, and it would probably just go out as it's been going. Jeremy, ooh, that's not LG no more. Jeremy, that's a whole new character at that point, I think. Um,
it's someone we've
you
never
see what
seen before.
yes, that would be, and that might be a concept to play around with later down the line, way later down the line. But that is definitely a concept that is interesting. An LG that's intertwined with Jeremy and the Freak Show. That would be a very decent. That would be pretty solid. I like that. That would be cool. And then Mr. G, obviously the father son duo. It would kind of just be like the classic. It would kind of probably be like Marvin Dallas. They kind of probably be the same type of character, except one is legitimately my father, and the other is more of a mentor role. Now, which one would I prefer?
I just want to say
Honestly,
that
yeah, go for it.
there are six answers. I want to have one default answer, and we're just gonna live with the idea that there are five different universes, just like this one, where you picked one of the other answers.
Yes,
Which universe are we in?
we're in the universe where I pick. Oh, are you talking about which one? Which universe are we in right
Yeah,
now? Where
yeah,
I'm with Scully and
yeah.
Jaslyn?
No. I want to say you have six choices. I want to hear one answer, and the other five, they're in a different universe. We're never gonna figure out how that's gonna go.
Hey, well, let me tell you, uh, I would want to be the one with Jeremy because I've never really thought of it. Um, and that would definitely be an interesting twist to the LG character. And I think that would be very interesting to see on screen.
Cool,
That's the universe we're in.
cool. We're never gonna know about the other five. That's wonderful. Now,
There we go.
back to the producing. Uh,
hmm
what is your favorite bit about producing? Like when you get your entire list, what's the one thing you're really looking forward to?
Seeing the show, how it turned out, how everyone put in their their things together and seeing my matches along with the other talent and seeing what they done and what they did or what they could do better or what, you know what I mean, what they did that was really good that maybe there's not even need for improvement. Um, so definitely seeing this final product of everything coming together it's very rewarding.
Yeah, I can get that for sure.
Hmm.
Now, this is going to be a tricky one because you've done quite a lot at this point, but which is your favorite match that you've ever recorded?
Mm. Oh, I do. Damn, nothing really comes to mind, honestly. But anytime that I need to do, uh, you said recording or just making, like just in general?
Recording, as in you had to record the entire match and edit it.
Um, Rich and myself for Wrestle Clash, hardcore or no, Last Man Standing match. Yeah, that was fun. I liked that one.
All right. What do you like about recording that?
Well, it was just a overall great match. Obviously I didn't get over, but I made it so that like it was a very fair, even match between each other, which makes sense because we've fought before, we've battled over and over again, and it just makes sense that it was a even matchup because I mean, in the previous match I've beat him. I beat him twice before that. Um, so it just made sense to have it a fair matchup. I think it was just a perfect nice classic like hardcore type of match. Weapons involved, blood was involved, tables were involved, a couple of them actually, um, and yeah, like in the beginning of the match, Rich pulled out a table, placed it on the outside of the ring. He's trying to get back into the ring. LG just spears him, and he goes straight through the table. End of the match was literally Rich putting me through it. We were literally fighting to put each other through tables at the end of the match. And yeah, and then also the finish of I always love doing cutscenes, having to do like different type of matches and putting them together. That type of cutscenes, I always love seeing how they come out. Um and I had to do one with that with that match as well, and it turned out pretty good. I'd say uh, it was a long match though. That's the only thing I would say. It was like 17 minutes. It's probably the longest match on the card.
Yeah, maybe, probably.
It was Wrestle Clash, so I don't
Yeah,
know if it was or not, but yeah, it was. I liked that match. That was probably one of my favorites.
cool. Now, what type of matches would you love to do from a production
Mm.
standpoint? Something that you just think, I think I could have fun with a match like this. And you can
Well,
pick anything, by the way, from match types to certain people that you want to put against each other.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love having. Actually, I'm not gonna put people in there because I can make a match with freaking Cooper Potter and make it beautiful. But I'd say I did a match that I didn't record, but it was just for fun. And I told you about this. It was you against the Showman in a casket match. I didn't record it, but that was a fire. It was literally 5 stars on the 2K thing. I was playing as the Showman, and Marvin still won. But it was such a good match that I wasn't even mad about it. Like honestly, with the match how it was going, it made sense. Like like whoever won just made sense because they were both giving it their all. I was seeing moves that I've never seen any of them do before, and I was like, "Oh my gosh! If I was recording this, I would have just I would just show this to them and they would put it on, but it's like it was such a good match with Marvin winning that match, and it was fire. I liked that. The casket matches, those could be fun. Um, Another one, just anything like Extreme Rules. I do like me a ladder match. Um, Only when it's one on one though. When it
Damn it.
when it gets to doing stuff like tag teams and stuff, they're cool and they're fun. It's annoying to record. But I do it if need
I
be.
wanted to say that if you love doing ladder matches, 6-man ladder match coming up for Halloween Horror, it's currently on my to-do list. But if you want it, you can have it.
If I don't have anything to do, I'll definitely take that. Low key, yeah. That sounds like a great match that I feel like I could just cook with that. But yeah, if I have nothing to do, if I do all the stuff that I need to do before it's needed, for sure, I'll gladly take that off your hands.
That would actually be something interesting to do.
Mhm.
If we have like a competition where there's a match booked and uh, you, me, Jeremy, we all record our version of the match. We send it to Scully anonymously, and he has to pick which match was the best out of the three.
That would be cool. I feel like my editing style is so like it's me. If you know who's like if you already knew that I was doing zone, you would know that what my editing style is for matches like that. I think it's very the same.
I
So I
don't
feel
I don't
like
really think Scully pays too much attention to that, and that's mainly because he quite often asks, "Who did this match again?" He
oh
remembers if he's
my
done it himself. So I
yeah
mean,
yeah yeah that's
I
fair.
know, I know, I can recognize the difference between your matches and Scully's and Jeremy's and myself's, but
Mhm.
uh, I'm sure you can too. But yeah,
I can the only ones I have trouble with sometimes are yours and Jeremy's. Scully, I know because of the pin. What he has it as is the one that goes toot 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 toot, and you have to
yeah,
make it in the
the
middle.
stupid timing thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. With you, the times that I do know it's Jeremy is when I see maybe whenever the camera, like whenever there's a button mash and the camera just doesn't even focus on it, like it goes to the side, zooms in. I know it's Jeremy. But other than that, and most of the time, some of the times it doesn't even
Which
have that.
ones?
So it's like,
Which ones?
so let's say there's a button mash, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes Jeremy would just move the camera and like zoom it in and put it where it's not even focused on the wrestler sometimes. And I've noticed that. I don't know if you've noticed that, but
Well,
I have.
I do that with the pin attempts.
You do.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And with
Really?
yeah, with a few of other things too, if I can make have sense of that. Because I figured, especially when I start cropping instead of just dragging it out, if I crop the video, it actually does a really good job at restoring the resolution of it, so it doesn't look too horrible and stretched out.
Hmm.
So I do tend to do that, yeah, quite often actually.
Oh. Do
And
you do it? Well, would you do it like for when it's like if it's like obvious, or would you like would you do it in a sense where it's like obvious, where it's like there's a something going on the other side of the screen, it's just not showing, or do you do it where it's like, all right, the pin counter's right here, you're
yeah,
just gonna put it
with
more up
the
here?
with the pin counters, I hate the positioning of those things because it's like smack in the
Yeah,
middle, you know?
I
Um,
just always try to put the WWO logo at least. I mean,
yeah.
gotta
I
do it.
I try my very best to make sure that by the end of the edit of the video, there's absolutely no image used to cover anything up. I want to try to make sure
Really?
yeah, I want to try to make it sure it looks as pure as possible without any logos on it. Um, in some cases, you can't really help it. And I'm actually very glad with the way they changed something about ladder matches because they made the mini game play like all the way at the top, so you can just crop off a bit at the top and you don't notice it.
Hmm.
Whereas in previous years, it would also be like right on your character.
Yeah.
So that sucked.
Another thing that if that is the look you're going for, making it so that right after the pin attempt or submission,
Yeah, the
you
highlight
go
reels. I know.
into
I know. Yeah.
and I've been doing that recently, and I always like for KB3 versus Billy Gore, I think I did that when Billy Gore had him in like a chokehold on the ground. I did that for that match. If that's the look you're going for.
I just hate how slow the game is with any of the videos. I'm not sure if that's on my end, but like anytime just going through the highlight reels, the loading times, it's just more waiting, which is why I don't do it.
Oh, yeah, I get that, but I always just do it while
Yeah.
the match is still being recorded. Like in the pause menu, I just get the angle real quick, uh, and just press play, hide the menu options, and then it's as smooth as butter. Honestly, it's not even the
Yeah.
only thing that would make it take a little longer is that having to press pause and actually finding the angle you want. But other than that, it's pretty quick and simple.
Yeah. I mean that's not too bad. And
Yeah.
perhaps I can go with a simpler route with the highlight
Hmm.
reels, but yeah. It's yeah, I just hate waiting, and it's like
Yeah, I feel that.
more seconds of waiting.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, to answer your question, Selena, is there a competition between us? See who makes the best matches. We mostly just try to help each other.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, especially for some of the slamming streams because that is done by two people, which is Jeremy and myself. On the Discord from time to time, I would put up a poll and basically have people vote for whichever match they like the best. And the first couple of times, I noticed people were always voting on the match their character was in. So eventually, I started making those polls with the notes. Don't just vote for your own character. That's lame. And it still happened. And after that, I didn't really bother anymore. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll try to make sure we do our best and we help each other out with advice and tips and stuff like that. So,
Hmm.
yeah, it's up to you. You know, it's up to the people viewing. Like at the end of the show, you know, start tomorrow with Women of Wrestling. Just say that was match of the night. Just do that. And in Women of Wrestling, it barely matters because it's all Scully. And on Zone, it's all on
It's all
Zone,
me,
it's all
and
David.
then on live it's Scully,
Yeah, yeah,
and then Slam and Stream is Jeremy and Marvin. And most of the like the major events like Summer Bash,
yeah,
Warzone, Wrestle Clash.
yeah.
Sometimes Scully will do maybe what is the show pre-show, a pre-show match. And sometimes I'll volunteer to do a match on one of the big shows or Slam and Stream or whatever. Um, but for the most part, it's Marvin and Jeremy.
And maybe we're gonna change it up a bit because the main reason it was two people on the last shows of the month. It's yeah, I'll explain how we do that in a bit. But Scully does these crazy shows. Yes, he does. What was I gonna say? Like the end of the month shows, the slam and streams, and the big events. Those were often
Hmm.
the shows with a lot of story implications, cutscenes, and stuff like that. So there was a lot of editing involved, and we are implementing that more and more on Live and Zone. So
Yes.
perhaps we should change up a few things down the road.
For Zone, I've always kind of made sure that it aligned with the stories. I think it was mostly live that was, it would kind of just be like a funner, like
Yeah,
without
yeah.
more of a, like a, yeah.
Well, we changed that in recent months and
Hmm.
upcoming months as well. So maybe we need to change it up a bit just to make it a bit more fair. Um, but yeah, that's something we're gonna have to figure out. At the moment, it's still most of the major editing and major story plots are still on Slam and Stream and the major shows. Um, but yeah, we are implementing that more on Live and Zone. So
Hmm.
perhaps we need to uh, redistribute who does what. But that's something we're gonna have to figure out. Don't really have an answer to that on how we would do that, but
Hmm.
yeah, something to discuss. Do you plan on how you guys do shows?
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So as as said on previous podcasts with Scully and Jeremy, we do plan our shows somewhat far ahead. Um, at the moment, especially because I probably have most free time on my hands these days. I tend to do a lot for booking the shows and getting all the stories from Jeremy and Scully and David and mixing them together and just throwing ideas against each other. Tend to be a bit of the middleman for that over the last couple of months because it's hard to get all of us together on the same call. Um, but that's fine. Uh, we got ourselves a very fancy spreadsheet where we have all the matches lined up and specific promos if we need them, so everyone knows what is needed of them. Then when it comes to the major shows that Jeremy and I do, basically at the start of the month, uh, Jeremy and I talk a lot, and at some point it's just like we should probably distribute the matches and quite often I'll let Jeremy pick which matches he wants. If there's a match I really, really, really want to do, I tell him. Other than that, it's I read that. Um, from uh, from time to time, there's a match that I really want to do, and one thing as well is when it comes to the major shows for Jeremy and myself, if there's any sort of complication of our own in it, we tend to do the match. So I do my own matches. I do Johnny's matches. If Cassidy has a match on one of these shows, which rarely happens, I tend to do them. Um, Jeremy on his turn does the Jeremy matches, the Sister Quinn matches, Showman, Rich, Jocelyn. Um, then if there's anything conflicting, we kind of just look at how many matches we have and who does what, and then take it from there.
Hmm.
Um, if Jeremy or myself are involved directly, then it automatically goes to one of us, which means the only match on the Slam and Stream that I haven't done myself is the one I had against Jeremy. Because, his title, so his match. And yeah, just very simple. When we have the card in front of us, it takes no longer than 2 or 3 minutes to distribute the matches. And um, I tend to take the most annoying and tricky ones. So your war zones, the multi-man ladder matches, and I do a lot for the tag team divisions. As for having to be the voice of reason compared to Scully and Jeremy, I want to say yes, but in all honesty, they're not that badass. They're on camera,
Yeah.
so um, there are definitely certain booking styles, and I think where I excel at personally is trying to find the middle ground. So it's true in a way where it quite often happens where Scully has an idea and Jeremy has an idea, and they're throwing the ideas against each other, and eventually I go, "What if we do this?" And we take those elements and we take those elements and we blend those together, and that's often the moment they go. let's do that. So that does happen. Sometimes Scully is that voice, sometimes Jeremy is that voice. I think I am that voice most of the time. Um, with Jeremy and Scully just coming up with a lot of wild ideas to throw
Mm.
out there. So yeah, uh, let's just say yes. I have to be the voice of reason, just to mess with them. Yeah.
There you go. There's the voice of reason here.
Now I have one more question for you, David, before we gonna reach the end of this podcast.
Okay.
Um, and I'm gonna have you make a very difficult decision.
Ah.
If you had to choose for the rest of your time as someone in EFED wrestling, what would you rather be? A performer or a producer?
Mm, I think producer, honestly. You're saying if I were to choose between one or two,
Yeah,
for the rest of the time I can't go back.
yeah. You can either never record matches for a show again, or you
Mhm.
can never do promos for a character again.
Ooh, not even like a on-screen like manager role, like a management, like a
That's still performing. So no,
oh shit.
yeah.
But I would get a say in like what's like more say of what to do within like stories and stuff.
I mean, you're solely a producer. That's quite expected though. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm, I think producer, honestly.
And I want to say,
Because then
if I were to ask you this question again next week, would your answer be different? You think?
I don't think so, no. Because I think I have so much good ideas for uh not only for myself but for different parts of WWO. And I feel like I can implement them very good if I was solely just a producer and not focusing on okay, I got to do this next week for myself, got to do this, we got to do King LG promo, Dangerously Crazy, Cuba's Finest. Okay, go, boom. Now, gotta do my matches. Boom, 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 boom. I really only have time to think of my own. But honestly, like to make a show better, you gotta focus as a producer. You gotta focus on each individual talent and how they can improve to be better. Um, and I think that's why I would choose producer because I could implement my ideas uh, for other people and see how they like it and see how maybe they don't like it at first and as it's going I like it proves that like oh wow no that was a good idea um but yeah I think producer honestly
I gotta say
love doing promos.
now that you mention that, by the way, feel free to to ask your questions. But yeah, I except for one person, I don't think there's ever been someone who's really been against what we have for them.
Mm,
So when you say that for production, it's something we haven't really had to tackle per se.
yeah.
Like most of the time, people are pretty well on board with what we have for them. So
Hmm.
hmm, two exceptions to the rule, actually, and I think you know both of them. You know what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, I I also want to say I thought of the question: would you rather be a performer or producer? When I was making a list of questions for a couple of people I know I would have early on this podcast. So I had this question for you about a month ago, maybe a bit longer.
Oh, did you
And
ask Scully and Jeremy this question as well?
no, no,
No, should have.
it's a very fresh question for you. And they'll be on off scripts again, so I will.
Yeah.
I do gotta say I had the question for you, and then I figured, what will my answer be?
What would
And
your answer be? Yeah.
I've really considered both, because that's one very annoying thing. I tend to think for myself a lot and have like these internal conversations, and I've come to both conclusions where I was like, I would probably just stick to producing,
Yeah.
and then a couple of days later, I like doing promos and doing all this character work.
Hmm.
I don't want to stop with that. But I do really love to see how a match plays out and stuff like that. And so I don't have a definitive answer, to be perfectly honest.
That's why
Um,
you asked, are you going to change your answer next week?
yes, yes.
I mean, I might.
Uh,
I say that I would rather be a producer over a talent, but yeah, you're right. It is a difficult question because they both have some great aspects to them. But the thing that's tricky is like on-screen manager role, like management, like kind of like how Scully's doing, or kind of how like Jeremy's doing. It steps into some. It's like you're only like no one knows you. You're not supposed to be known, pretty much. Which is like wow,
mm-hmm.
something to think
Yeah,
about. I mean, you got to
yeah,
think that also being an on-screen management role is also performing as a talent. So
yeah,
it's like what,
yeah.
but shit, man.
Final question from Selena. You know, it basically has to do with bloopers, and you always have your blooper reel at the end of the show anyway, so it's a perfect question. Have you ever forgotten which character you had to be to do a promo? For instance, say you were supposed to do a King LG promo and ended up dressing up as Dutch.
I wish I had a different answer, but no, I don't have a thing like that. Only because I have my stuff written down, and it's like if I know what I got to do, bring out the king outfit, bring out the Manolo outfit, bring out the Dutch outfit. It's definitely um something that I know beforehand before shooting that I'm what I'm gonna be doing that day. So honest answer, no. Wish it was a different because that would be kind of funny. Would have a good story, but no, just a lame
It
answer.
it does remind me of one of the promos you had with your dad,
Hmm.
where I think he was supposed to be OG as you were Dangerous Dutch, and he started
Hmm.
talking in his Mr. G voice, and you called him out on that in that promo. Like, what the hell is Mr. G doing
Yeah,
here? I remember that. That
yeah,
was funny as
yeah,
hell. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Yeah, there's definitely been some
uh,
times where it's like, sometimes it'll be like, all right, we got to reshoot it, but sometimes it will just be funny and it'll play into it. So
yeah,
yeah,
that'd be nice.
kind of like Kofi Kingston and Triple H during that segment. Aren't you
Yeah,
supposed to be Jamaican? You know.
yeah.
Can I say something as Dangerous Dutch? Can I put the outfit on? Should I?
Go for it.
All right. Hold on.
Very,
Gonna
very
read the.
unconventional way, but I'm just gonna start with the outro for now. Because I have a few things to say. Make sure that if you're watching this to follow us here on Twitch if you're new, and make sure to tune in tomorrow, 8 p.m. EST for Women of Wrestling. And of course, next week we have a brand new guest, which I will announce once we've done with Dutch. He's nearly ready.
Dangerous Dutch, man. Look, man, it's been a fun show. Hope you guys like and subscribe on YouTube and the Twitch. Give me your bits. Give me the channel points, man. And you're gonna get Dangerous Dutch paid, man. Look, man. Look, I'm the best, man. No, there's no beating me. Let me tell you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Uh, Absolutely wonderful.
Oh yeah, man. Where's my? Oh, wait, hold on. Don't end it yet.
Not yet. Not yet. We're good. He left. Wow. He just built on me. He really is Dutch. Like Dutch, he built on WWO. That's absolutely great.
One half of the tag team champions, man. You see, we gotta have the champion here with me, man. Cause look at that. We gotta remind the people who they're dealing with, man.
Absolutely. So, Dutch, just a hypothetical question. If you were a producer, would you rather be a
Okay, man.
producer or a performer at this point?
Man, I love me some tables, man. I love going through them, and it made me who I am today. Dangerous Dutch got to say that I am going to be an on-screen talent for life, baby. You know me. Well, how else am I gonna win champions like this, man?
That's a very good question, Monica. Where does that voice come from, Dutch?
I mean, man, I'm from the Netherlands, man. All of us talk like this down here, man.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, I don't know where this came from. I was trying to talk like Dutch one day, and this is what came out. It didn't. Yeah, I don't know.
Wonderful. Yeah. Now, of course, as I mentioned, tomorrow we have Women of Wrestling at 8 p.m. EST. Next week, I'll be back with Off Scripts with another organization member, as I will be joined by the one and only Hellbilly. So make sure to tune in for
Nice.
that. It's going to be a lot of fun. He's very excited to do this, so that's always good. David, and
Yes, sir.
all of your wonderful personalities, thank you for being here, and it's been a great show.
Hell yeah, man. Been a great one. Thank you for having me.
All right, until next time.